What up, Cowboys Nation? It's your boy DMV back with another one. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell each time I come out with content. Now I'm going to touch on our second round pick, our first pick of the NFL draft. Defensive tackle, Trysten Hill out of Central Florida. And I want to give you guys my Monday morning quarterback, or how do I say it? Saturday morning draft GM, however you want to put it. And so I know that my first reaction was a little upset, and I was upset because of all of the safeties that were left on the board, and I felt that the safeties were the better players. But keep in mind, last year, around this time, Leighton Vander Esch, I was a little upset at the pick. Not necessarily that we weren't getting a solid player, but we ended up drafting around him. And I think that what the Cowboys are trying to do is trying to set that up again. And after all of these years of watching the Cowboys draft, I should have known that they won't go with the sexy need, but they'll go with the safe need. So, and that's what they did here. And they got a pretty solid player in Trysten Hill. And I won't say that it's a bad pick, because it's not a bad pick. It's a pretty solid pick once you think about it, once you look at his skill set, the things that he does well, what Marinelli really wants out of defensive linemen. I think that he'll fit right in. I don't believe that he'll start right away, but I will touch on the pros and cons right now. The pros that I see out of him is that he has an explosive first step, very explosive. He's really good at the bull rush, and once he's able to get you on your back heels, he's able to dispose of you and get upfield. There are probably two moves that he does really well. He does the bull rush really well, and then he does like the swim move where he's able to get up under your pads and then dispose of you. He does that pretty well. So I think that will be pretty good for a 3 technique in our scheme. I don't believe that he's big enough to do the 1, but he's 6'5", 308 pounds. So, and he's a pretty good athlete for his size. So I'm ecstatic that we did get him, because I think in the long term of things, he will be a very, very solid player for us. Possibly a second contract type player. And that's all you can really ask for. As far as the cons go, as I told you before, I don't think that we maximized the pick as much. But if that's the guy that they wanted to get, that's the guy that they wanted to get. So I'm fine with it. Another con, I know that he comes out a little bit too high in the stance a couple of times. Actually, for the most part, he kind of does the same thing every time. He does the same thing, gives the same look. So when I watched the tape versus Memphis, they were able to catch on to that. So eventually it was easy to bring double teams over to him, which you do want double teams. You want somebody that attracts double teams. But if it's somebody that is stronger than him, I don't know how he'll deal with that, because I didn't necessarily see a full repertoire of moves. So he's definitely not somebody that's just going to come in and start right away, because I don't believe that right now he's better than the guys that we have. But when he runs into guys that are stronger than him, he's going to run into some problems. I can tell you that now, because he comes out a little bit too high, and then he telegraphs his other moves. The other moves, like spin moves, he might be okay when it comes to running stunts. I've seen a couple of stunts he did that were pretty good, but spin move, if he has to like try and do the little arm thing that Reggie White did, he won't be able to do that, because he comes out a little bit too high, and then and that'll make it easy for centers and guards, for actually guards to really get up under his pad. So he's gonna have to work on pad level a little bit. But other than that, this is a really solid player. He's gonna be a very solid rotational player, and he's gonna offer some competition there, because I mean, as Cowboy fans, we know that Trysten Hill will be on this roster. But what we don't know is, we don't know what's going to happen with Kerry Hyder. We don't know what's going to happen with Covington. We don't know what's going to happen in the future with Malik Collins and those guys like that. So there's going to be some battles in there to try and make that 2 D-tackle rotation. But make sure, like I said before, like, subscribe, hit that bell each time I come out with content. I will do another video on Connor McGovern and break that down as well. All right, guys. Peace. Make sure you subscribe to Gorilla Team ATL on YouTube, as they got this fly ass beat in the background. I'm just gonna let the instrumental ride for a little bit.